Honestly, I thought the iPhone 17 was going to make my iPhone 16 Pro look ancient. And yeah, after using it for a few days, I actually started feeling like my 16 Pro was outdated. But then I used both side by side for a while, and that feeling, not entirely true. This isn't just about performance or the camera. It's about what it actually feels like using these phones every single day. So if you're on the fence about upgrading to the iPhone 17 or just can't decide which one to get, this video is going to save you some money. Because after spending real time with both, I don't think it's really about which phone is better. It's more about what kind of experience you want every day. And after living with both of these for a while, I've landed on a clear answer. Which one I'm actually keeping.
The first thing I noticed switching between these two phones throughout the day wasn't how similar they looked, it was how different they felt in my hand. Visually, both phones stick to the same design language. Flat edges, slightly rounded corners, that clean, minimalist look Apple's been refining for years. Both look great, honestly. But personally, I still prefer the way the 16 Pro looks. It's the kind of phone that, even just sitting on your desk, makes you glance back at it for no real reason. But what actually sets them apart isn't the look, it's the feel. The iPhone 16 Pro still feels premium to me. That titanium frame gives it this solid, expensive feel without making the phone heavy. Apple found a really good balance here. It doesn't feel bulky, but it doesn't feel flimsy either. There's a certain solidness to it, especially if you're someone who actually cares about materials and build quality. The 16 Pro still has this refined feel that's hard to ignore. But the moment you pick up the iPhone 17, the first thing you'll notice is the weight. It's noticeably lighter, about 20 grams lighter than the 16 Pro. And trust me, you will feel that difference in everyday use. At first, I figured this would only matter for like the first 5 minutes, but after longer use, especially scrolling social media before bed or watching videos on the couch, that lighter weight actually makes a real difference. Your hand just doesn't get tired as fast. That's when I started noticing it, during long sessions. Whether I'm scrolling TikTok, replying to messages, watching shorts, or checking Instagram, the iPhone 17 kind of just disappears in your hand. You stop noticing you're even holding a phone. If I had to sum it up, the 16 Pro feels premium, the 17 feels light. That's honestly the best way to describe the difference. And to be clear, neither one feels worse or cheaper here. They're just prioritizing different things.
Now, when it comes to the screen, this is honestly the easiest part of this whole comparison. Because in real life, both displays basically look identical. They're both 6.3 inches, which personally, I think is the sweet spot for phone size right now. Not too big, not too small, and just really comfortable to hold. Big enough for watching videos, using maps, editing photos, or replying to messages, but still compact enough that it's easy to carry around. Sure, there's the 16 Pro Max if you want something bigger, but for me, 6.3 inches is exactly right. Everything looks sharp and clean. Wide viewing angles, colors that are crisp and natural, and both have that 120 Hz refresh rate, so everything feels super smooth. Scrolling Instagram, switching between apps, browsing Safari, all of it feels fluid on both phones. Even small stuff, like pulling down notifications or opening animations, feels buttery smooth on either one. Honestly, there wasn't a single moment where I looked at the screen and thought, okay, this one's clearly better, because they're just equally good. And that actually matters, because online discourse sometimes makes the non-Pro iPhone sound outdated or less premium. That's just not true. The iPhone 17 still feels genuinely modern and holds its own against the Pro model no problem. Both phones also have the dynamic island, one of those features you don't really appreciate until you use a phone without it, like the iPhone 17e. Like when you're using maps and go back to your home screen, your directions stay visible right up top. Or when you're listening to music, you can just tap to jump straight back into the player. It's these little things that make the phone feel way more in sync with your day-to-day.
Performance is honestly my favorite part to talk about, because I feel like a lot of people were expecting the iPhone 17 to feel like a massive leap over the last model, but after using both for months, it just isn't. Both phones are equally fast. Apps open instantly on either one, switching between apps feels identical, scrolling feels identical, even gaming feels basically the same to me. I play a lot of Genshin and ZZZ on both phones, and nothing feels off. Both handle those games without breaking a sweat. Honestly, if someone handed you both phones without telling you which one's newer, I don't think I could tell. And I don't think you could either, just based on performance alone. And that's actually one of the main reasons I'm personally not switching from the 16 Pro to the 17. It's not that the iPhone 17 is bad. It's actually really good. But for me, the day-to-day experience just doesn't change enough to justify spending that kind of money, especially if you already own a 16 Pro. Mainly because the 16 Pro still performs just as well.
Battery life on both phones is genuinely great in my opinion, and I'm pretty picky when it comes to battery. I hate having to charge in the middle of the day. I always start my day at 100%, and with either phone I can comfortably make it through the whole day. Usually by around 9 p.m., I've still got about 35% left, and for how I use my phone, that's more than enough. A lot of the time, it even lasts through lunch the next day. Texting, replying to emails, scrolling Instagram, watching YouTube shorts, snapping random photos or videos when something catches my eye, both phones handle all of that without ever making me anxious about battery. And honestly, that matters way more to me than a performance boost that only shows up in benchmark numbers. That said, your daily habits will still be the biggest factor in how long your battery actually lasts, so at the end of the day, it really comes down to what you're doing with the phone. All right, let's talk cameras, because this is probably the part most people care about the most. I genuinely love the photos coming out of both phones. The internet kind of acts like the non-pro model takes way worse photos, but that's just not what I experienced. Both phones have a 48 megapixel main camera that captures sharp photos and 4K video really well. They're both quick and reliable when you're actually out there shooting. I've tested daytime, nighttime, indoors, outdoors, random moments with friends, buildings, landscapes, and the results consistently look great on both phones. Skin tones look natural, colors look realistic, true to life. Honestly, if you put two photos side by side, I couldn't tell you which one came from the 16 Pro and which came from the 17. Where things actually start to differ is zoom. The 16 Pro clearly has the edge here. Its 5x optical zoom is genuinely useful if you care about photography or shoot distant subjects often. Yes, the iPhone 17 can also zoom up to 5x, but that's digital zoom, not optical. To be fair, the digital zoom on the 17 is actually pretty good, not bad at all. But the 16 Pro still holds on to more detail and produces cleaner results when you're zoomed in far, especially in low light. So if you're really into photography and you zoom a lot, the 16 Pro has a real advantage. But for most people, I think the iPhone 17's camera is more than enough. You still get 2x zoom and the results still look fantastic. For everyday stuff, hanging out with friends, food pics, pets, vacations, social media content, random spontaneous moments, it's more than enough for most people. As for video recording, both phones are just as easy to use and the results are equally impressive. Now, even though I personally won't be switching from the 16 Pro to the 17, there are still a few things I genuinely like about it. The biggest one, obviously, is the lighter weight. After using both phones for a long time, the comfort difference is real, especially if you're someone who spends a ton of time on their phone throughout the day. The iPhone 17 also has a few camera features the 16 Pro doesn't, like the center stage front camera, which lets you record horizontal video while holding the phone vertically. That's genuinely handy for casual content. On top of that, being able to record with the front and back camera at the same time is pretty cool too, especially if you're into making social content or vlogging. So yeah, there are clearly some solid, modern features that make the iPhone 17 feel fresh, but personally, I don't think they're enough to outweigh what you're already getting with the 16 Pro, at least not enough to justify the price difference. So who should actually buy the iPhone 17? Honestly, it makes a lot of sense for certain people. If you're still on an older iPhone and want something light, clean, simple, reliable, and great for everyday life, the iPhone 17 is a fantastic choice, especially if you don't really care about the extra camera hardware you probably won't use much anyway. I'm pretty confident most people will be happy with the iPhone 17. But if you already own a 16 Pro, I don't think you need to upgrade expecting some dramatically better experience. Performance is the same, the display is the same, battery life is similar, and the main camera quality is nearly identical. In some areas, the 16 Pro actually comes out ahead. For me, that titanium frame feels more premium, the 5x optical zoom is genuinely useful, and overall, the 16 Pro still holds up as a complete top-tier iPhone. Personally, the only reason I'd switch from the 16 Pro to the 17 is if that lighter weight is something you really genuinely care about. If not, it's just not worth it. And if you're deciding between the two today, I'd honestly say a used or refurbished 16 Pro in good condition with solid battery health might actually be the smarter pick, especially price-wise. But if you can't find a good one, then sure, just go with the iPhone 17. So at the end of the day, this comparison isn't really about which phone is objectively better, it's about which experience actually fits you best. And if you already have a 16 Pro, just keep it. No need to rush an upgrade. All right, that's it from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.